Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
The Lo and Zo Show.
So today we have a little bit of a special episode for you guys. We just got finished with day one of our Becoming Abundance Challenge inside our Abundant Mind Tribe. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the Becoming Abundance Challenge is?
Yeah, so first of all, if you aren't a part of the Abundant Mind Tribe, go ahead and join now because we would love to have you in there. We're always sharing inspirational content. You guys will be up to date on anything that we post, publish, or launch. And so we have just, what you're about to listen to is day one of the Becoming Abundance. This is a 48-hour identity shifting manifestation challenge. Okay, so big results will happen inevitably over time with this, but we want you to see results for yourself, see what's possible for yourself right now by learning how to go to work on your being to then become that version of you who innately knows that abundance is just who they are and attracts that in whatever area of life you're looking to create change.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually going to close out our season today, tomorrow, and the day after that. We'll have the 3 days worth of replays on the podcast because we just felt like this was something we wanted people to have access to. We know we've been talking more on the podcast recently about identity and your way of being and how fundamentally important it is when it comes to creating significant and intentional and lasting change within your life. And we wanted to just quickly let you guys know that on Monday morning, not 100% sure when you're going to be listening to this, it's likely Sunday night, but on Monday morning at 10 a.m., what's happening, Zoe?
We are officially launching ABC, the Abundant Beings Club, and this is something that we've been working really hard on and really intentionally around, and this is our exclusive Lo and Zo membership, which also contains a course. So the course is what, you'll learn how to shift your identity to really go to work on the subconscious programming because, the subconscious runs your life until you make that part conscious. It will determine your physical reality, how it is now. So we go to work on the identity to your brain on that subconscious level to reprogram it to a life for abundance, and you learn how to do that in the course. And then you have our membership, which contains a library of special content from us. There's going to be monthly calls with the both of us so you can ask questions, maybe get some hot seat coaching, and then each month there also is a call with either Lo or I where we are going to coach and answer any questions that you guys might have. And we really encourage you to sign up for ABC, of course, because this will change your life. It's inevitable. If you apply yourself, you will be successful. And Laura can tell you more about like the pricing and or just like the special offer that we have exclusively just for right now.
Yeah, so I'll put the link in the show notes to check out ABC. And I won't go too much into the pricing just because it's all laid out there for you guys and we talked about it the other day. But this week, before Friday, October 16th, I believe it is, at 10 p.m. Eastern, there is a special price. It's $50 to $100 off depending on which option you choose. And I don't believe we'll ever offer ABC at this price again. So this is sort of just the launch week for our ongoing membership. And if you sign up this week, not only are you going to be able to start with everyone all at the same time with just the energy of something new like this, which we're just so excited about, but you'll also get it at the best price. So what else?
We'll just let you guys know, just as a disclaimer, this is this audio that you're about to hear is pulled off of Facebook, so it just doesn't sound like our normal quality, but the content is what's key there. The content is all valuable. So many people love this live stream. They were taking notes. They were just super amped up about it. So just listen and follow along, and we look forward to hearing your results.
So let's get started. I'm Lo.
And I'm Zo, and this is
the Lo and Zo Show. We're coaches and entrepreneurs who firmly believe that an abundant mind is the key to an abundant life.
On this podcast, we're going to be talking everything from how to manifest more money, travel, success in business and beyond,
to overcoming the blocks that are holding you back,
to rewiring your brain so you can easily attract whatever it is you want the most in life.
If you haven't already, be sure to join us inside our Facebook community, Abundant Mind Tribe, for daily tips, mindset hacks, manifesting tricks, and more that'll allow you to build the confidence you need
to manifest the abundant AF life you deserve.
Now let's get started.
Hello, everyone.
Yay!
Happy Sunday. Happy first day of Becoming Abundance.
Yes, the challenge.
Yes, the 48-hour manifestation, identity shifting manifestation challenge.
Yeah.
We're so excited.
Okay, we will give this just a second. Happy Thanksgiving for our fellow Canadians. Say hi if you are watching. Hello, hello. We're a
Yeah.
minute or so early, so I just want to make sure. But say hi so we know that our comments are working.
Let us know
That
where
we
you're
can see
watching
them.
from today.
Yeah. Is it Thanksgiving where you are or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're really excited to. Have we ever done a challenge?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
I feel like this is going to be.
This is going to be big.
I don't know. I think it's going to be really cool because
Yeah.
we're discussing something that we really don't feel is discussed enough in like the manifestation world, and something that is very, very misunderstood or just underrated when it comes to manifesting like lasting change, right?
Yes.
And manifesting consistent results and work that we've both done and that we prescribe to our clients and our friends. Oh, there's so many fun people here. Hi guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, hello. Awesome. Okay, so from Brazil. Love it. And we had a whole bunch of like new people join our group for live now and then replay. Love it. Who joined our group for the challenge. So the way that this is going to work is there's going to be 3 live streams today, tomorrow, and Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's why we're calling it the 48-hour challenge. I guess it's technically like 49 hours because, does that make sense? Starting right now, it'll probably finish at like 4 p.m. on the 49-hour challenge. Didn't sound as good. But yeah, this is all about identity and your way of being. And we're going to talk today about what that means and
why it's the key to effortless manifestation. Kind of like moving into that version of you who just naturally creates as a byproduct the life that they love, and good things just happen to you. Abundance finds you. That like it's just something that you are, right?
Yeah. So tell us if you are joining, where you're joining from. And we're gonna walk you guys through sort of the teachings that you need, and then we're going to give you the sort of first action step for becoming abundance.
Yeah.
Becoming abundance in order to attract it or create it or draw it to you.
Yeah. Create the life of your dreams, really. Because once you kind of know some of these keys and you implement them, you see change as a reflection almost instantly, which is awesome because we all love that in the manifestation world.
Someone says that they don't have sound, but it's probably on your end. Okay, you can hear us. Thanks, Chrissy. Hi, Chrissy. Okay, so let's first talk about what is being. So we've been using this word a lot. If you listen to our podcast, we've been talking about being. This is the Becoming Abundance Challenge. We've kind of used it interchangeably with identity, with self-image or self-perception, but we're going to talk about what this concept means. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah. So, your beingness is who you are. I mean, if we're going to talk in terms of like energy, we've all met these people who are like, wow, like they're magnetic, or wow, like things just seem to work out for them. Or because that's at the core of their being. Who they are is someone who at the deepest level believes that things work out to them, or believes that they're magnetic, believes that they create or attract abundant opportunities to them, right? Or they're just someone who is innately good with money, or innately always has a romance in their life, or innately always has a relationship. So that is because at the essence of who they are in their beingness, in their identity is someone who is good with money, who does always have loving relationships, is someone who naturally attracts abundance in all different forms. So when you are practicing shifting your identity into that reality that you would prefer, you become that person. So the abundance is a byproduct of who you're being. The abundance in your life, the love in your life, the money in your life is a byproduct of who you're being naturally, because you've gone to root at your belief systems at the deepest level of your identity.
Yeah, and I think we can like break it down even a little bit more than that and get super simple with it. Your identity is the habitual thoughts, feelings, and actions that you experience or that you take simply by default. You don't have to choose these thoughts. You don't have to choose these actions. You don't have to choose these emotions. They just are who you are. And they are who you are for yourself. So your identity is who you believe yourself to be. The thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions that you have or that you take simply because that's who you are, right? So it's effortless. It's who you're being. You don't have to try to be these things. And we want to first kind of connect who you're being with manifestation and why it is so incredibly important. And I think that the easiest way to kind of explain this to you guys, and for a lot of you, you might already be well versed in what identity is, but we want to, you know, break it down a little bit more. Sorry, we want to talk to those of you who this is a new concept for. But when it comes to manifesting, it's quite simple. What you get what you focus on, or what you focus on grows, right? So let's say that you are starting a business and you are naturally someone who's already quite confident. What you are going to be automatically thinking and feeling are thoughts and emotions that are aligned with your desired outcomes, right? If you're a confident person, you are going to be believing that what you want is coming to you. You're going to have certainty about it. You're going to have success aligned thoughts. Whereas if who you are being, or your identity is someone who doubts yourself a lot, or you know, doesn't think that you're capable of being successful, or is maybe bad with money, that's like part of your belief system about yourself, and you go and you start a business, your thoughts are naturally going to be aligned with a lack of results, thus preventing you from actually attracting them, right?
Yeah. And then as a byproduct of that, you'll manifest bad things happening, right? Or
just
unfortunate
unwanted
events.
Yeah, unwanted. If you're starting a business, or I mean, we could do any topic. You want a relationship, let's just say, and you're someone who really believes in their value, who believes that they're attractive to the opposite sex, or the, you know, your desired sex, believes that you are worthy of a loving relationship, you're naturally going to be focused on what you want, and thus drawing it to you. We just draw it to ourselves, or we create in terms of manifestation, what it is that we are focusing on. And so your identity, or your way of being, dictates what you habitually focus on. And this is why we have to shift who we are. We have to shift our identity, and thus our way of being, the thoughts, feelings, and actions that we are experiencing or taking automatically, or on that like default level, in order to change our lives, or draw in desired lasting change, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. So it's at the core of who you are is where your identity is. It's based off of those belief systems, because what you innately at the deepest level believe to be true about yourself will perpetuate the thoughts, will perpetuate the feelings, will perpetuate the actions.
Exactly. So what you're getting in life is not what you want. It's a reflection of who you're being. It's really quite that simple, right? There's a quote, it's something about, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. It's really quite as simple as that. If you are starting a business and you're already someone who is sees themselves as being successful, you're going to draw that to you quickly, right? And this is why we see people who, you know, I mean, we used some examples when we were building out some of our course materials yesterday, but people who start businesses that are successful overnight, it's because at an identity level, that success was like already aligned with their way, or their thinking and acting was already aligned with what they wanted. Some people, you know, make lots of money, they might lose it, and then they turn around and they have it again. Like Donald Trump is a good example, right? Because part of his identity, or part of that type of person, didn't want to make this political, but part of that kind of person and their way of being is that they have money, or that they see themselves as being wealthy, and naturally it just comes into them. So they're not like sitting down and visualizing every single day, or they don't have a vision board. It's just coming to them as a result of who they're being.
So it's like effortless and easy.
Yeah.
Once you've shifted the identity into someone, let's say, whose identity is money, it's effortless and easy for you to create wealth, abundance, financial freedom in your life, because that's innately who we are. And I think, like, also just based on that example, we've all heard these stories about people who win the lottery, right? Out of nowhere, they win the lottery, they come into like all this money, and they blow it all, right? And then they're left with, you know, no more riches, no more fortune. And it's because innately who they believe to be is someone who's just like not that wealthy, or, you know, not worthy of that money. And so they lose it, right? Or you may notice that you yourself, when it comes to the topic of money, let's say, as we're on it, you have energetic minimums and maximums of how much money you make, or how much money you just like believe is in your realm of possibilities. So when you tap that at an identity level, and let's say you believe that I am someone who experiences great wealth, or I am someone who experiences financial freedom, if you can get down to that at the identity level and transform it, you will innately become that person who is financially free, financially stable, financially abundant.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah. And that's why whatever it is that you want in terms of, especially like the really big, you know, lasting changes and manifestations in your life, whether that's a business or a relationship, or, you know, higher paying job, or different friendships, or whatever, sorry, my thing is going off here and it's really distracting. You have to go to work on changing who you are within yourself in order to attract and keep those things. We've all had experiences where we sort of out of the blue manifested something big, but either it didn't stick around or it was like a one-off, and it's because you didn't actually change who you were being on an identity level, right? So that's what we're gonna help you to do. I know we've repeated ourselves there a few times, but I think it's a really like important thing for people to grasp. You are consistently manifesting results and circumstances that are in alignment with your dominant or your habitual ways of thinking, feeling, acting, believing, right?
Your identity.
Your identity, exactly. So, and this is really like the work that Zoe and I have done, especially in our businesses, and now we're doing it like more in our personal lives, to become the version of ourselves who naturally just draws in money. I mean, I can say there's been months where I really don't work very much, but money comes in anyways as a result of who I'm being, because I have those like energetic minimums, right? And I know Zoe has experienced the same thing. And all of you guys have like your current physical reality is a perfect reflection of who it is that you're being in any given area of your life, right? So look at an area where things are amazing. You know, it could be a relationship, it could be in business and finances. Who it is that you're being is someone who just expects things to be a certain way, who exudes confidence in that area, and that's why that area of your life is the way that it is, right? So with this information, we get to then go to work on becoming abundance in any given area of your life so that you naturally are thinking and feeling in alignment with that future reality that you desire. And we're going to help you do that over the next 49 hours, yes. 48 and a half. So this is like a process that we really break down, and we've talked about it a lot on our podcast, but we are launching, in case you guys have been following us on our podcast or on our Instagram, we are really like putting this all into our next offer, which launches tomorrow. It's called the Abundant Beings Club, ABC. Yeah. And it's about changing your subconscious programming. And we're going to talk a little bit about that over the next 3 days, but changing your subconscious level of being so that thinking in alignment with what you want just naturally is who you are, and thus all those things get drawn to you, right?
Yeah, so you consciously create the life that you desire, because until you make the subconscious conscious, it will rule your life. Yeah. So all those areas of your life where you're not feeling satisfied or you're not feeling abundant, it's because the subconscious programming is running the show. You haven't gone to work there and reprogrammed it into a way of being that is abundance.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to run you through the first part of the challenge, and we want you to first choose an area of your life where you really desire to manifest change or manifest specific results, right?
Yes.
So could be your business, finances, your home life, your relationship or lack thereof, could be at work, could be your career, somewhere in your life where your current reality is not what you want, and you want to use the power of manifestation to create abundance, right? So let us know actually,
which area of your life you desire.
What area of your life? Yes. And then, and do this in the comments because we love to read. What does the desired change look like? And I did put a little prompt in like the description part of the video, but what is it? So what is the area and what is the desired change that you want, right? So it could be like, my business is, you know, it's the area is my business, and what I really want is to be able to be full-time in it. What I really want is to be making a certain amount of money each month. What I really want is to feel, or not even, you don't even have to go into feelings. We want to talk more about your desired physical reality, right? Okay, so do that for us, you guys, in the comments. And then, so describe for us for that. Maybe it's like, I want a relationship where I feel so amazing and they're always here for me and we get to laugh all the time and we go on adventures and I feel loved and supported and blah, blah, blah. This is like what my desired physical reality looks like in that area of my life. And then, do you want to talk about the next step?
The next step in deciding
so now we want to talk about who that version of you, like your abundant being.
So each of you are deciding on that area, and we decide on that area, ask yourself who that is. And we want you to create an abundant being profile. So we want you to, like, if you feel inclined to name this this version of you, like an alter ego sort of, right? Like that version of you who has that which you're desiring to change, the one who's financially savvy, or that one who's in the relationship, or that one who's just being a total boss babe out there in the world. So, name this person, and we want you to just get into it. Describe them to us. Describe what their day-to-day life might look like, what they're doing. Maybe they're going to work at coffee shops because they have that, travel freedom, or that, freedom from the office, and what that looks like for you. And so there is power in really tuning into this, because then you can recognize what's possible for you. You can recognize that there is a reality shift that you can make. You can shift into that version of yourself much faster than you can identify with. So check out the identity of that abundant being profile. We want to hear it. We want to see it. If you guys feel comfortable to write that down for us, and begin to think about maybe an action that version of you is taking every single day. So if she's that boss babe, and let's say she's going to work at coffee shops, is she dressed up in the pretty outfits? Is she wearing the lipstick? Is she walking around in like booties or heels? Or if this version of you is one who's in a loving relationship, like, how do you walk when you're in love? Like, how do you feel in your body when you're in love? And really think about, how do you embody and act as if, essentially.
Yeah, and one way that might be easier for you guys to kind of break this down, if this is sort of newer work for you, and this is like the work that we do when we're like, okay, I want to reach that next level of income in my business. We look at who that version of me who is already living that reality, or has already manifested those numbers in my business, or that reality. Who is that version of me? What are the kinds of thoughts that she's thinking? What are the actions that she's taking, as Zoe said? What are the beliefs she holds? And what are the emotions that she's feeling, right? And if you can, ruminate on this for a while, you can start to see how who you're currently being is not the version of you who has what it is that you want. And it is your current way of being that is holding you apart from what you want, right? If you're wanting a successful business, but who you're being is unsure, and who you're being is, worried about things a lot of the time, who you're being is someone who's like focused on lack, or thinking thoughts of not good enough, or insecurity, or doubt, then obviously your way of being, your current identity, is keeping you from manifesting what it is that you want, right? So this is where, like, in the manifestation world, we just don't hear enough people talking about how important it is to go to work on yourself. And Zoe and I have both had pretty significant transformations in this area within our businesses, especially, where we had to become different versions of ourselves. We had to become new people for ourselves, who thought differently, who felt differently, who believed differently, and who acted differently, in order to have the businesses and the lives and the income that we do, right? And until we did that, we both sort of been able to create a certain level of success for ourselves, but we really wanted to kick that up a few notches. And so we went to work on what we're going to share with you guys inside ABC, some of what we'll share over the next 3 days.
So today, as you guys are identifying this area of your life that you wish to, alter, to really shift into one of abundance in whatever capacity that looks like, focus today on the actions that version of you takes, that physical reality that you're desiring, that being, that abundant being that you can choose to name. We love to get creative here. The alter ego, if you will. What they are doing, something that they are doing on a daily basis. Like, maybe they're waking up at 5 a.m. Maybe they're waking up and doing yoga right away. Maybe they're someone who starts their day off like with a run. Like, think about like something little, an action that really allows you to set the energetic precedent for that day of that abundant being. Or maybe it's like walking around with that lipstick on. We have to wear masks here in Canada, things like that.
But I still put it on anyways.
Like, just do it. Like, choose an action that abundant being version of you takes on a daily basis, that allows you to really embody walking like that version of you. Whether they're walking like they're in love, or they're in that relationship, or they're walking like they're a fucking boss badass. Do it. Just fucking do it. Today is all about like action taking, like fully stepping into that version of you. Just try it on, like literally try on the new identity.
Yeah, so what we want to encourage you to do, or actually tell you to do, because this is the whole challenge, is for the next 48 hours, show up in every way that you possibly can as that version of you who thinks, feels, and acts in alignment with that future desired reality. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, or even this evening, whatever it is that you're doing, ask yourself, in this situation or making this decision, how does this abundant version of me or this next level version of me who, you know, is living that point B reality or that desired reality, how do they act in this situation? And for us, it's a lot of, I mean, I always make decisions from the place of like already having what I want. And that's a really, really powerful thing. I approach scenarios or situations with people in my business, or if an obstacle presents itself to me, I say, how does that like 7-figure version of Lauren show up and, you know, act in this scenario? But I also, you know, like the lipstick thing, I always use as an example. That to me is because if I was just being comfortable all the time, I would just not wear any makeup, put my hair up, whatever. And that's fine, except that I don't feel very empowered. I don't actually feel like that boss babe version of me. I kind of feel, you know, wearing sweats all day doesn't do a lot for confidence. So for the next 48 hours, you know, how does this person walk? What music do they listen to? Music is a great way, by the way. Like, just look up some like boss tunes on Spotify. Go for a walk. As like walking meditation, this is something Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, is a really powerful way to visit. It's like the second you walk out the door, you are now in that future reality, right? And you're just making believe. But yeah, so the next 48 hours, write down. So what we want you to do is create your abundant being profile, and we'd love for you to post it in the group if you want to. And for the next 48 hours, be that person.
Yeah.
Right?
Love your guys' comments. Kat says, I love it. I feel more confident already. Ina says, my abundant being would be more decisive and unapologetically assertive. Like, yes. Like, okay, so as of now, you guys are trying this on. You're being that person, and we will see you like 24 hours from now. And we want to hear about what you get as a reflection in your 3D reality, in your reality, based on how you've decided to show up differently. Walking the walk, putting on the lipstick, like being assertive, like really a woman who exercises her power, like let's say. And after you try that on, you will see results happen very fast, because it's all energy. It comes down to the energy of who you're being, and you will naturally get that reflection back to you, like so fast.
Yeah, and this is something that you can spend 48 hours as this version of you until it is actually something that you've like wired in subconsciously. I would say 48 hours is probably, you know, the most amount of time I can spend in as a different version of myself until those subconscious, like old thoughts of sabotage and self-doubt start coming back in. And so, you know, something like ABC is about actually doing the work from the inside out. But for this challenge, you can put on, you know, sort of like, imagine you're putting on like a pair of sunglasses and you're viewing the world as that version of you. When you're wearing those sunglasses or you're wearing the lipstick, you are this person. You make the decisions as her. You think the thoughts she thinks. You show up in your business the way she does. And this in and of itself is an incredibly powerful tool just to navigate through things in your life and make decisions from. But if you can spend the next 48 hours as often as possible visiting that energy, and action, I think, is kind of the fastest way to, you know, get into it for a short period of time. But if you can visit that energy, like Zoe said, you will see things start to show up differently in your life.
Yeah, and we'd love, like we said, we'd love for you guys to share in the group, like your profile, if you're going to name that version of you, and or even just share on like Instagram. Let us know what your action is. Like if you're putting on the lipstick, we want to see it. If you're, you know, walking the walk down the street, we want to see it. We want to see you wearing the outfits. Like, just because it's 2020 and who knows what the fuck is going on half the time, you can still be you. You can still be that abundant being version of you. Like, none of that matters right now. It's all about your being. And then you will see the reflection.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was like 2020 has been a huge year for both of us individually and for Lo and Zoe together. But like, it was because regardless of what was going on in the world, who we were being were people that were going to be successful no matter what, right? Like, I knew that I got to choose how money was going to continue showing up for me, or how my business was going to continue to grow regardless of pandemic or no pandemic, right? And that's a result of who you are being. So you can always choose the energy that you exude. And this abundant version of you does not give their power away to anything or anyone, right? And it's something that we want you to practice. You're not going to be amazing at it right away. And it's work we continuously come back to and revisit. But you have the capacity to build any life regardless of outside circumstances. And it's about building who you are for yourself, your self-image, how you see yourself is what's being projected on the world around you, right? So if you are in, I use business as an example all the time because I'm a business coach, but if you see yourself as, you know, struggling in your business or not worthy of the clients that you want, not worthy of the money that you want, that is what your experience is right now. Like you're not going to have anything outside of your self-image in the long term. Yeah, that's really how it is. So, okay, let's just read some of these. So happy you guys are all here with us. Thanks for spending a piece of your Sunday. Okay. So
big love from the UK.
Hi, Sorrel. I'm so happy you're here. I saw she joined the other day. Okay, Kat says finances and business. I want financial freedom without working too much harder than I already do. You can definitely, I mean, a lot of the world's most successful, most wealthy people barely work at all because who they are being and what their subconscious level beliefs and thoughts are is that money flows to them no matter what. And they don't really have to work that hard for it, right? The amount that you work has nothing to do with how much money you make unless you subconsciously tie them together, which most people do, right? I feel like we have times where we work really, really hard, but we definitely this year have become much more about the energy and like made more money than ever as a result.
And really we really come to understand this beingness, which is why why we created ABC in the first place, because this is the key to really unlock, like, effortless manifestation. We all like love to have desires and like manifest them, but like it doesn't have to be work. Like it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to do the inner work and like the repetition and implementing the practices that we teach in ABC so that it just innately becomes who you are. And essentially abundance is on autopilot for you.
Yeah, and we can talk, I mean, we've talked at length before, but we know there's some new people here about reprogramming the subconscious. So your subconscious mind completely runs your life. It runs your identity. It is responsible for 95% of the 60 to 70,000 thoughts that you think on any given day. So that means that you're not actually consciously choosing the thoughts that you think, but the thoughts that you think are creating your reality. So we have to go to work on a subconscious level, becoming someone different, meaning that it's effortless for you, right? These next 48 hours, it's going to be something that you do consciously choose, but inside ABC and in the work that Zoe and I always teach and the work we do, it's about like having you actually become that person, not have it just be something that you try on for 48 hours, right?
Yeah. And the way that I like to think about it is like, it's like a computer, your brain is like a computer, right? So it's running on the computer program. But the great thing about thinking about it as a computer program and having that subconscious be the program is that you know that you can up-level that program. You know that you can, upgrade that to like Yosemite, blah, blah, blah. You can, in fact, choose what it is that you desire and then align your subconscious to believe you already have that or that's innately who you are and not on the identity level, and then thus you create it in your reality.
And one thing I think a lot of people don't know, we all have like sort of beliefs about ourselves, right? Things just are this way for me, or I'm not good at X, Y, and Z. None of that's true. It's just beliefs that you hold, and who you are and your personality and your identity are completely and 100% malleable. You can, in a relatively short period of time, choose to become on a subconscious level a completely different person who thinks completely different thoughts, who feels way more confident, full of conviction. It's just this idea in society that is that we think that we have to stay who we are, and that's just the reality of it, right? We try to change things on the outside in order to feel differently on the inside, which doesn't usually really work. We've all had those experiences where we lose the weight or we get the job or we get the boyfriend and we're still left feeling like ourselves. It's because it's not an outward job, it's an inward job. And when you do the inward job and you understand just how malleable your way of being is and who you are at that subconscious level, you gain all the power to change your identity, which then has to be reflected. And I mean, one of my favorite parts about this work is people who have done it without actually having like a specific goal in mind. They just go to work on feeling better for themselves, about themselves for the sake of it. Their entire reality changes regardless. Like they weren't even, I have a couple friends that I've had do this work, and it wasn't like, okay, well, I want this much money, and so I'm going to think in alignment with it. They were like, I just want to feel better. So we had them start practicing, or I had them start practicing, and I know you've had friends as well, some of the things that we do inside ABC, and a year on, 6 months later, or even less, like their entire outside reality is changed because the thoughts that what they're habitually focusing on has changed as they've up-leveled their identity. Hopefully that's making sense for people.
Yeah, and just know, like, it will work for you. Like, we're trying this on as a group together for 48 hours, and then, like Laura said, the subconscious will come back. But we want you to visit that version of you. We want you to really feel into it, take those actions, and just really try it on, because when you try it on, you begin to understand that it is a possibility for you. You begin to understand, like, if I can be this person for like 48 hours, or I can be this person for 24 hours, like, there's a possibility I could be this person all the time. And one of my favorite Dr. Joe quotes is like, your personality creates your personal reality.
Yes.
So you can, I mean, who you were 10 years ago is probably not who you are today, right? And you can see how your life has changed and transformed since then. So we're going to the root of it in this work. We're going to the root of it, the identity, because that then creates your personal reality.
Yeah,
so.
I love that. We actually almost called it the personal reality program, but ABC is better.
Yeah.
Anyways.
There's a lot more in ABC. Like, you get more than just that. So, you know.
Yes, exactly. My lash business, Kathy says, hi, Kathy, to go full time in lashing, quitting my 9 to 5 at the end of the year and make 10K monthly. Perfect, Kathy. So ask yourself, that version of you, who is she and how is she showing up in the world? How does she feel about herself? And practice that over the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
Hi, Chrissy says, areas business enough to pay my bills, plus overflow doing what I love. I mean, it's going to happen for There's no other possibility for Chrissy. I mean, anyone that does the work, there's no other possibility. When you change who you are, you change your outside circumstance.
Your success is inevitable if you apply yourself in this practice.
Yeah, and one thing that we've discussed before but is missing from the manifestation world is like, oh, just think different thoughts, right? Just think different thoughts, just focus on what you want. But if you have an identity or like that ego part of you that sabotages, or who naturally is someone who doubts themselves a lot in certain areas of your life, you can't simply, and this is one thing that like frustrates me to no end when people are like, just believe, just have unwavering faith, you know, that what you want is coming, only think about what you want. But if your subconscious programming is that you think about what might not happen, or you think about fear or what you're worried about, or you have, you know, patterns of stress around money, as many of us do, you can't simply choose to turn that program off. You have to reprogram it, right? Maggie says, I want a stable income and to be financially independent while being creative and living exactly where I want. Love it. It is available to you, Maggie. Better finances so I won't have to think twice about buying things I'd love to have. Yeah, freedom, right, with money. Business, and I want my business to be able to cover the monthly bills and then some. I'm adding that part, but my areas, so many of you talking about business, which I love because this has been so transformative for both of us, but for me, especially as a business coach, I've watched it transform. Like, it really is. My clients and us and our friends who have businesses, what they're getting in their business is a reflection of who they're being. That's it.
Yeah, and what's great about the business one is that you can really easily think about what that version of you looks like, let's say, like what they're, you know, dressed, and stereotypically, like maybe if this example is, but, you know, are you walking around like you fucking own the place? Yes, because you are the CEO, right? Like, you know, so you can easily think about the actions that version of you takes when it does come to business.
Yeah. I want to be attaining a profitable 6-figure income to be financially free. I'm taking lots of notes. Love it. I feel more confident already. Oh yeah, you already read that. My abundant being would be more decisive and unapologetic. I love that. Andy's devil wears Prada montage with her new outfits. That's how I feel.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Ask you, like, how does that version of you dress? That's a big one.
Like them, okay? Dress like them, walk like them, talk like them.
Does this exercise involve assessing how your abundant being will handle resistance? Because that's where I most struggle. Yeah, like we talk about that in
ABC. We really give you everything that you need to kind of like really implement this and, like, you know, foolproof. Like, your success is inevitable if you apply this process as we teach it in ABC. But for this 48-hour challenge, we're just simply stepping into the actions. Resistance is something that's naturally occurring for every single one of us. The subconscious the ego will put up a little bit of a fight, but you're trying this on for 48 hours because we know you guys. We know that if you're watching this right now, if you are listening to our podcast, you're somebody who's committed to your personal work, right? So you can commit to 48 hours and just do your best to ignore the resistance and just really step into that version of you, because this is just, you know, having fun with our imaginations, having fun with shifting our identities, you know, and if the ego tries to come and just be like, I'm playing a fun fucking game, I'm playing this fun challenge for 48 hours, like,
Yeah, and I think that what we're asking you to do actually can really help with the resistance, because in this, so when I met with resistance like a week and a half ago, it was I had resistance around like a dating situation that I was in. And when I did the ABC work, or this work of like up leveling my identity, the resistance that I was being met with, the attachment that I had, just kind of melted away, because at that like higher level of being, those thoughts that I was thinking became irrelevant. Those emotions were just like not something that at that level I was feeling, right? So, you know, if you're being met with resistance, it's totally normal. And we will coach you through that, like inside ABC. And we talk quite a bit about like ego backlash and that kind of thing. It's like your ego freaks out after a while of you like up leveling. It's just kind of how parts of the process go. But
just be the observer of it. You
yeah.
don't have to get attached to it. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's simply just the ego. It's simply those autopilot subconscious thoughts. So you're actively being this version of your abundant being self for the next 48 hours, and just, you know, recognize the resistance for what it is. It's just the ego, maybe putting up a little bit of resistance or backlash to some extent, but you know who you are.
Yeah. Sophie says to begin a career that's more aligned with my passions. How can you change your identity yet remain authentic, or is it that you are aligning to the truest version of yourself?
Yes.
So you'll be way more authentic as your abundant being, because you're so whole and complete within yourself that you just show up as you, and you invite other people in your life to do the same.
And you don't give that power away to other people, or make their opinions mean something, or simply just you care less about what other people think because you know you're honoring what your potential is.
Yeah, and you're just someone who has like the programming no longer includes a lot of like doubting yourself, right? When you're at an identity level, at a subconscious level, you no longer have like that computer programming of like, what if I said the wrong thing? And what do they think about me? Like once you override that programming, it's like you're just so much freer in the world, and you naturally attract less of that as well, right? Or draw it out in other people. And Anusha says, being a homeowner of the home of my dreams. Love that. Okay, so we want you guys to really take this on, especially between today and tomorrow's live stream, but over the next 48 hours, because we want to hear what comes up for you tomorrow. On tomorrow's live stream, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into sort of the thinking and feeling part of things. Yeah, tomorrow morning, I think probably around 10 a.m. Eastern, we're launching the Abundant Beings Club, ABC, which is a 4-week program that then turns into a monthly membership, because we know that like the membership part is technically optional. So some people may just choose to come in for 4 weeks to get the information, to get the practices, and then do it on their own, which is totally fine. But we know that a lot of people will want to have the accountability and the support over a longer period of time. And we also have an option for people that want to sign up and commit to this practice for an entire year, which, you know, is, I mean, I think
highly recommended. We've been doing this for a year and a half, and our lives are unrecognizable from a year and a half ago. It's because when you commit yourself to the work of really honoring what you know that your potential is, what you're capable of, you wouldn't have these inklings, you wouldn't want these desires if they weren't meant for you, if they weren't possible for you. So this gives you the commitment, the opportunity to create that for yourself by going to work on the identity consistently.
And the identity is something that's been formed over the course of your entire life, right? And you can quite quickly go to work on releasing big pieces of it, transforming big pieces of it. But it's like, we used an example on something we recorded yesterday that was, you don't go to the gym for 4 weeks and then expect to be fit for the rest of your life, right? There's some maintenance there. There's always, you know, higher levels of fitness that you can pursue. So anyways, we'll have a little more information for you guys about that tomorrow. But it's going to launch in the morning. It's only, it's at a special price for the week, but technically the membership begins tomorrow. So if you sign up earlier, you're going to have more time. We're doing our first call, I think Friday afternoon or something. Anyways, so we'll have more information about that for you tomorrow. Is there anything else?
Just we're excited. We want to hear from you guys. So share on social media, and really just do this for yourself, right? Step into what you know that you deserve, what you know is possible for you. Try it on.
Yeah, and like things you will see, you know, just the way people react to you or respond to you will change. But also I find it so, like when I'm worried about something, stepping into like my abundant being or that next level version of me, I find so freeing, right? Like it feels good to be her, to visit her, to continuously move towards becoming her, because she's just someone who, doesn't worry too much about things, has money flow in no matter what, who gets to enjoy life, who is like, you know, this work has just like set both Zoe and I free, because who we are just people who like, there's just so much less worry and uncertainty than there was a year and a half ago. And that has been reflected in big ways in our reality. And we're really excited that you guys are here and that we're getting to share this message, because I definitely don't feel, I think the whole like topic of manifestation doesn't dive deep enough into this in the, like, you know, in most places where it's being shared. It's like, you need to become a different person for yourself in order to have the belief required, you know, to manifest and sustain what it is that you want. You need to have a different program running.
We want you guys to be a manifestation badass, like just that person who just naturally creates the life that they love. And, you know, that's why we're bringing this to you guys, because we've implemented this over a year and a half, and we love our lives so much that we actually have to like hold each other accountable to actively creating bigger manifestations for ourselves, because we're just like so damn happy all the time, because we feel like worthy of the abundance, and the abundance is here, you know, because it's innately who we are, and it keeps flowing in that way.
We literally had a conversation that, like, not to be like, I don't know how that sounds, but we literally had a conversation the other day where like, sometimes I just don't feel like manifesting more than what I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do to get motivated again? Yeah. Because things are really great.
Yeah.
Anyways, we want that to be your biggest problem as well. So, so thank you guys so much for joining us for day 1. Please tune in for day 2 and day 3. And starting right now, you are that next level version of you who has all the things that she or he wants. You're a badass. You know what it is. You have that level of confidence, that conviction, that belief in yourself. And yeah, try it on for 2 days. See what shows up.
Step into it, guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you guys so much for spending a piece of your day with us and tuning in to the Lo and Zoe Show.
If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to rate it and share on social media. Be sure to tag us.
Until next time,
stay abundant.